All right, so we're going to start this lesson by just reviewing what we know about matrix equations. So let's assume AX equals B represents a matrix equation, just like we've seen in our past examples in the last section. And remember that in order to get X by itself, we would need to divide by A, but we don't divide by A when it comes to using matrices. We multiply both sides by the inverse on the same side. So they're both multiplying to the left. So essentially what I get is A inverse times A times X equals A inverse times B. So that's what we did in the last section. Remember, this causes A inverse and A to cancel, and the solution to X is just A inverse times B. So that's what I want you to keep in mind. X is equal to A inverse B. Now, with that in mind, let's consider this example problem. It's just like the last section, except notice that this is a 3 by 3 matrix, and this is a 3 by 1. And we're trying to figure out what X is. Now, instead of using paper and pencil this time, we're going to use our graphing calculator. So first thing you need to do is just turn it on. Oh, I guess I should clear that. You should get a blank screen. Let me see if I can get this close enough. You should get a nice blank screen there, and you want to look for the X to the -1 button here. If you look in well, on my calculator it's in blue. Yours may or may not be in blue. It says matrix. And so what you want to do to get into that matrix menu is you press the second button and then click this button, X to the -1, and you'll see you get a menu with 3 options at the top. You have names. I don't know if you can tell in the screen really well. This says names, and then it has a whole bunch of letters in brackets, math, and edit. You want to go to the last, which is edit, so use your arrows to go over twice, and then select the first matrix, A. Mine, I already have information edited there. It says 2 by 2. Yours might be blank, and that's fine. So just press enter, and it will give you a choice for matrix A. And I don't know what your default might be for dimensions, but up here at the top is where we want to write 3 by 3. Now the reason I want to do that is take a look at our example here. We know that matrix A, because this is A, this is going to be matrix A, and this is matrix B. So matrix A is a 3 by 3. So, looking at our calculator, we want to input 3 by 3 and then press enter, and it should give you a 3 by 3 matrix with 9 different entries. What I want you to do is just put in the values that we see on our paper here. So, let me see if I can hold this in a way you can see both at the same time. So I'm just going to plug in the numbers 1, and then I press enter, and it takes me to the next entry. -6, enter, takes me to the next. 0, 0, 1, and again I'm pressing enter each time. 3, and then it automatically moves me to the next entry. 0 and 2, enter. Okay. My matrix is full. It looks the same as the example, and so I'm done. So I press, you see quit right here, it's the mode button. Up above it says quit, so I say second quit, and it should take me back to the main screen. Okay, so we have just taken matrix A and we've input that information into the calculator. Now we're going to go and find matrix B. So same thing. If you want to test your memory, feel free to pause this and give it a try yourself. But if you're not sure you remember, here, let me pull it back a little bit. You want to go to second matrix. You should get those 3 different menu options, go over to Edit. This time we don't want to select A, we want B because we're going to fill in matrix B. So use your down arrow, select B. Again, it's going to ask you to choose the dimensions. Now remember, our B matrix is 3 by 1. So we want to input those into our calculator. 3, use the arrow, 1, enter. I'm going to put my 3 different values in, 1, 4, and 11. When I'm done, we quit. Second, quit. Back to the main screen. Okay, so we have our matrix equation. I input A into the edit section of the matrix portion of your calculator. I input B. Now we want to know how to solve for x. In order to do that, we need to go back to our original equation, which said if I want to find x, if I want to solve for x, I need to take b and multiply it by the inverse of a. And that is going to be really easy to do in my calculator here, now that I have that information put in. So first thing I want you to do is go back to the matrix section. Make sure that you're here in this blank screen, and then press second matrix. Now don't go to the edit this time. This time I want you to name your matrix. And we're going to start with A. And then it takes you back here. We've just selected A. Now I'm trying to create this equation, A inverse times B. So I have A. I want to put inverse. That's actually this button right here, the x to the negative 1. If I press that, you can see it turns into A inverse, and then I want A inverse B. So go back to matrix, select B this time, and now I have my equation, A inverse times B. If I want, and that's what I need to know to find x, is A inverse times B. All we need to do is, looking at our calculator here, go down to the enter button, just press enter, and there is our answer. We end up with a matrix, and I'm going to actually write out here what our answer looks like. We get a matrix that on our calculator looks something like this. All these funny little brackets. What that means is it's just giving you kind of the digitized version of a 3 by 1 matrix. So this is 0.5 and this is negative 0.5. And that is our solution to x. So our x matrix is a 3 by 1, 4, 0.5, negative 0.5. That's it. So all we did is we went into the matrix edit portion, and we put in our values for the A matrix and for the B matrix. Then we went and went back to the main screen and created our equation. We used matrix names, and we wrote out A inverse B, and then we just pressed enter. That's it. And then we got our answer, x equals, and it gave it to us. So there you go. Oh, did I lose my end of my notes there? Here we go. We'll see here. If I can tuck it right in there as I mess up your camera angle. So matrix edit, matrix names, write out our equation, and they give us our answer. So that is how we use our equations. As I said in the intro video, all you need to do is numbers 9, 10, and 11 for your homework. You don't need to do the rest of the worksheet because I just want you to practice using your calculator to solve these matrix equations. And that should do it.